don't know that I'm on 4D or anything like that, but I do know that in some manner I am above certain of the seeming dichotomies that seem so much a part of 3D life here. I see much more of the union, the unity of polarities, of seeming opposites now. All sense and reason for any kind of fighting or even argument is gone out of me quite. I do see the right of every being to its own way of being its own life, and how it is no business of mine to try to control that in any way. I see that as nonsense, the concept of controlling another. Yes, I still want my puppy to obey me, but my kismet, my puppy, exists in my world, in my domain. That is the difference. Each one gets to control or rule her own domain to a large extent. The animals and the creatures in it, not the people. It is the boundaries of that domain that are to be established, however, and in most people there is not even the concept of this, much less the great reality it has in my experience. And by great, I mean strong. It is like I am one with certain laws, if you will. They not only exist for me, they somehow exist in me, or one with me, so they find their own expression through me. We are one. This understanding of the right of each one to rule is that. It is not a mental thing at all. It arises much deeper in the being than that. This is heart stuff, not mind stuff, and it's more different than day and night. I have a good one for you that I'll close with, more evidence, if not proof, of our dreaming state. I want you to envision the solar system, only in its proper dimensions, with the Earth being the tiniest part of the size of the sun, truly tiny. I'll provide a link both to an image and an animation that shows these true proportions. For now, just realize the Earth as a pea next to the size of a watermelon, and you'll be about right. Now, place those in proper distance in space, in imagination. Third rock from the sun, as they say. Okay, so we have this huge sun and pretty close by this little small planet, right? Okay, now, I'm about to prove to you that there should be no night as we know it. Are you ready? Are you in heart? Okay, now, turn the sun on. Imagine it is the lamp that it is, radiating its brilliance in every direction, every degree, all around. Keep imagining its great size. Okay, now, just imagine this tiny pea planet there fairly close, relatively, to this huge sun. Now, see the Earth spinning around on its axis, right? Do you see that? Now, I challenge you to set any experiment up in which you keep all these proportions true to reality and produce our experience of night. Think about it. On our tiny planet, with the sun's light reaching as far out into space as it does, remember, the sun never dims its light. It doesn't turn it off at night. It always shines brightly. Now, as our planet spins, there will be a tiny portion of it in some darkness, but the brilliant light of the sun will wrap around the tiny ball of our planet, shining light around and beyond it, right? How could the sun cease to shine beyond our Earth? How could the whole night sky ever appear to be black? We should be able to look left and right, back and forth, and still see light there. Perform an experiment in your mind. Take a very, very bright and large light of some sort and place it somewhere. Now take a little small p of our planet and get the relative distances right and so on. Then put some spin on our planet while that light is beaming, shining. You will see that the radiance of the light easily expands well beyond the small p thing. Why should the light stop there? What's with that? Yet it seems as if the brilliant blazing light of our sun just stops at our planet come nightfall. Well, I challenge that. Put together the science experiment that is faithful to the proportions, the lumens, and so on, and show me how that light just stops to make the whole night sky black. No such thing is what I say. Can't be done. Doesn't even make mind sense, my friends. Thus, I don't care what the senses of this body report. I know this is a hologram, and though it has rules, we don't even begin to comprehend them. The rules that we've got in our heads are about at least 99% wrong, I am guessing. That's why I am in love with the phrase, "I don't know," and the no mind, and how I can say it with such meaning. As long as I can say, "I don't know," then I'm open to knowledge. Once I'm convinced that I know something, then the door to all knowledge just closes. Maybe I know something true, maybe I don't, but one thing is certain, my knowledge is static, in that nothing that disagrees with it is allowed to exist. How can it? I know its opposite, its contrary. Thus, I know it right out of existence. No thanks. So, I'll close with that. I don't know. See you later. Oh, and P.S. And don't bother to ask a scientist, as most of them are so firmly convinced of the great depth and expanse of their knowing, they can't explore with us here. Just think of what the possibility of such a knowing would do to their whole world. They live on the surface of life. Their whole ego structure might crack, their whole belief in themselves, in reality. Do your own experiment with this. It's not so difficult, just shocking.